Just when you thought your day really sucked.
You suck!
Here comes something to make it suck even more. It's a Lamont and Tonelli podcast.
Paul, this is big. We've got a comedian in the studio, Jim Jefferies, who is playing at Cobb's Comedy Club tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. You've got 2 shows tonight, 2 shows on Saturday, and 1 show on Sunday. Jim is one funny dude. Baby Huey and I were watching your videos yesterday in the office. And now, Jim, first off, where are you from?
I'm Australian.
Oh, from Australia, huh?
Yeah. Originally, I lived in England for a long time. I'm actually, it's just funny that you had Ted Nugent on. Allegedly, I'm his second cousin. I am. No, I haven't met him. My real surname's Nugent. Jim Jefferies is a stage name. Jefferies my middle name.
Yeah.
It's really Jim Nugent, but. My dad reckons that we're second cousins.
Really?
To Ted Nugent.
To Ted Nugent?
Yeah.
Is that right? Really?
Yeah.
So
but I don't have my political views are the same. Like if he had his way, I wouldn't be in the country.
So now when did you get to the country? When did you get to the U.S.?
I started gigging it. Actually, this is a true story. My first gig in America was in San Francisco, and it was to play Cobb's, and this is about 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I flew in to do it, and I think they thought I'd sell the place out, and they didn't, so they moved me down to the Punchline down the road. And now 3 years later, I can actually sell Cobb's out, so things are moving up in the world.
Well, there you go. Things are looking good.
It only took 3 years, but when I first got here, I got to the airport, and I don't think my visa had been worked out quite yet. Like, I think it was about to be worked out. It was in the post any day, but it hadn't quite been worked out yet.
Yeah.
I get to the airport, and I've got a bag full of my merchandise DVDs, and I'd already ticked the box that said, no, I don't have any merchandise on me. Right?
I got nothing to claim.
Yeah, and I wasn't, I did have a visa that was about to come to me the next day. I wasn't So I go to the airport, and for the first time ever, I get pulled out in San Francisco airport. I get pulled out. The guy, they're like, "We want to check your bags."
Right.
And I had 2 big suitcases, one full of clothes, one full of merchandise. So I put the ones with the clothes up there, and I was like, "Well, I'm done. I'm back on the next flight."
Yeah. There
There goes my entire career in America all over. and the guy sort of sees me sweat a little bit, and he goes, "Oh, what's wrong?" And I said, "Oh, I came here on a holiday a month ago, and I met the girl of my dreams, and she's standing on the other side of this wall, and I have an engagement ring in my pocket, and I'm a bit nervous." And the guy was an old romantic, and he went, "You go get her." And so I went through. So that's my memory of San Francisco.
Hey, nice to see you.
My whole life could have changed. Like, kids, if you're listening,
Yeah.
sometimes lying works. Sometimes lying is a good option.
It wasn't so much a lie as it was just a good story.
It was just a good story. I played with the heartstrings, and look at me now. I got a
Believe you
green
me.
card, an HBO special, happy days. Things have worked out fine.
Believe you me, Sully tried lying to immigration. You should see the trouble this
didn't
guy's
work
in.
out too well.
You guys had to get your green.
See, I'm originally from Canada, and I had my green card as well. I just got my citizenship 2 years ago now.
Hold it, I'm the only real American in the studio right now.
I don't think you're an Indian, young man. None of us are real Americans.
Nobody liked that one more than Sully. Sully's from Tanzania.
He looks more like a real Australian than anything.
So you got your green card now.
Yeah, they made me go through the test. You had to get all the blood work done?
Oh, yeah. That scares the hell out of you, doesn't it?
I got tested for the whole lot.
Yeah.
And they did the test on me, and they said, "Oh, you've got tuberculosis." I'm like, "I don't think I do." And they're like, "You tested positive for tuberculosis." So they give you like they make you pay another $100 or something to get the X-rays on your lungs.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you tested positive because obviously you've had the vaccine for it, so there's a little bit in your system, and that's why you tested positive. And I'm like, of course I had the vaccine for it. It's not like I'm from Africa. I'm from Australia. I know that you people think all of us people in the southern hemisphere are the same. And I got the AIDS test as well, the whole lot, and I thought to myself, why did it? Okay, first of all, it's got to be a bad day when the American government pulls you into the office and goes, "You have AIDS and get the hell out of here." We don't want you walking around with your AIDSy ways. But I mean, I was surprised when they came to me and they said, "Oh, you don't have AIDS." I was like, "You better check that, really." Like, I assumed I'd have a little bit of AIDS. Like, I'll tell you something, AIDS. I know in San Francisco this might go a bit haywire, this statement, but I think AIDS is made up. I don't think it exists. I think it's a government conspiracy.
Well, you do?
And I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because
Okay.
if I haven't got AIDS, no one's got AIDS. No one has put more effort into getting AIDS than me. I once had sex with a Thai hooker in the back door. I would have used the front door, but there was a scrotum there.
You worked at it.
Got in the way.
You worked
He
hard.
really put some effort into that.
I'm a blackout drunk. These are the adventures I get up to.
Hey, now listen, speaking of adventures, I've got to ask you here because Billy is a big fan of yours, our intern. And he was telling us a story that you were attacked with a machete once. Was that right?
I was.
What the hell was that?
Geez, how'd you know that?
He's done research on
this
you.
guy. He's a stalker.
I can't tell the story now because it takes a good 10 minutes to tell. But but the gist of the matter is, I was at home watching The Unforgiven.
And where was this?
This is in Manchester, England.
Okay.
I was there, and that's why I only lived there for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And I was there with another comedian called Steve Hughes, who's a very popular Australian comedian who lives in the UK. And my girlfriend was asleep next door. We had a couple of guys come through the window upstairs because it was summer. And they climbed up a drain pipe and they came in the room, one with a hammer and one with a machete. And they tied me up and I'm glad you enjoy it. They tied me up and they cut the side of my head and I almost bled to death. Anyway, they got away with they stole my car and took all my stuff. And they actually got caught speeding. Yeah. In the car, and they're serving 12 years in prison both now. But the funny thing was, the cops just wanted to get them on everything, and they were local lads that the cops had hated since they were kids, you know. And so the cop pulls me into the office. I got stitches in the side of my head, almost bled to death. And one of them goes, they go, just one last question, Mr. Jefferies. Do you know anything about those drugs? And I was like, oh, no. And then the cops laughed and went, funny, your fingerprints were all over it. and I sort of teared up a little bit and went, oh, well, they made me touch them. But we're on the floor and they'd cut my head and I was bleeding and one of the guys was going, oh, I'm going to kill you. The other guy, the nicer one of the two, good guy, he panics a bit. He sees on my dresser or chest of drawers were, I got pictures of my nephews and nieces there. And one of them goes, either you two guys got kids. And my best mate at the time, I'll say at the time, because we're not anymore after this, he goes, 5-year-old boy. And I thought, you bastard, I'm the one bleeding to death. Like, who are they going to kill now, right? Like, they're not going to kill the single dad, you know. So I went, 4-year-old girl, right? And it became like Save My Ass Top Trumps, right? And then he went, and this is no word of a lie, he went, my one's retarded. Who are you going to kill? The guy with the daughter or the guy with the retarded child? That's all that he has is the retarded child.
It's hard to trump.
Jim Jefferies playing Cobb's Comedy Club. Very funny dude. Tonight, Saturday, and Sunday. Thanks for coming in here, man.
No worries.
Always a pleasure, man.
Another fine product from Uranus.
That concludes the Lamont and Tonelli podcast. To hear more and everything Lamont and Tonelli, check out the website at lntworld.com.